Welcome everybody to the Trick or Treat Halloween Hop. I am Kim and this is my channel, Kim Can't Stop Crafting, and I want to thank you for stopping by today. We have a great lineup of crafters for you who have some wonderful projects that we'll be presenting to you. Some people may be doing tutorials and some may not, but we just like to offer you some ideas for gifts, and whether they're for an adult or a child, a family member or a neighbor or a teacher, what have you. I would like to talk a little bit about the hop before I get started. Each designer or each person will show you their project. You're going to want to look at their description box, which has the lineup where you can click on the link and visit everybody's channel. Some people are offering a wonderful gift, and so in order to be eligible for the gift, you will need to subscribe to each one of our channels, and you will need to leave a comment. We will do a random drawing for each of us, and we'll check to make sure that you have met the requirements for the gift. I personally would like to offer a $20 gift certificate to Country Craft Creations. This is an online craft store that you can find just about anything that you're going to need. Wonderful papers, supplies. So a $20 gift certificate can get you quite a bit from the store. So I created for you a loaded envelope, and I know there's a lot of loaded envelopes out there, and each one's made a little bit differently, and so I will kind of deconstruct this envelope and show you what I have put inside. It's a pretty good size envelope, and you can put quite a few things in there. It was difficult just trying to get it into the camera, to be real honest. So let me show you. This is actually made out of a file folder, and so it's fast and easy, and I'm all about doing things quickly and having a cute result. So let me just show you. I'll kind of bring it up closer and move my way down here. You can see that we have a witch's a crash at the top here where her legs are up out of the top of the envelope. I have a little bag of goodies here that has a little bat. I have a cloth tag here with the purple pom-pom sparkly, with it does have a black bat on there. If you look down a little bit lower, I do have a dimensional pocket that has some test tubes full of candy, and I'll take those out. Some candy bars. I have a spider here on the corner. I have the word boo. Oops, it's hard to get this in here. I have the word boo written in Scrabble tiles. I have an ornament of a witch's boot. 2 flowers, some googly eyes sticking out down here, and a cut apart a dragonfly, and some trims along the side here. I have some bling in various places, and the paper line that I used is by Doodlebug. I don't remember the name of the collection right off the top of my head, but let me just kind of take the things out and show you how much it can hold. So starting with the top, like I said, I do have a canvas bag, and I just adhered a bat to it and tied it closed with some seam binding. Inside I have some candy that I'm not going to open because if I open it I'll eat it, so I'll keep that closed. I also just put together a quick tag. The tag was it's made out of a canvas. I have a black doily under it, and I just found this purple pom-pom. I have a cut apart from the collection off to the side here. I glued a black bat on, and it's hard to see because it's kind of blends in. Look how sparkly that is. And then I just have some black ribbon and some seam binding, colored seam binding at the top with a row of bling at the bottom. Put a doily on the back also just to kind of give it a finished look. So that was in there. Now we have this headband, and I got this at the dollar store. I just added some trim and some tulle here to give her a little bit of a skirt. But this was pre-made, the actual legs, and I just added a little bit of lace down at the ankle of her boots, and so that I thought that was cute sticking out the top. Inside, to kind of give those things some height, I did have some shred that I put in there, some black shred. So you can see that it was a manila folder, and I just did some cutting and some adding to it. So let's take out the bottom. We have 2 test tubes with some spider webs and spiders. So these were in my stash from last year at the end of the season. I just put some paper, decorative paper around it, and I bought some like I said, the what's it called? The stuff that looks like cobwebs, glued some spiders on, and one of them has M&Ms in it, and one of them has candy corn in it. Tied some seam binding around the middle and stuck those in the front pocket. I happened to find some candy bars that looked pretty darn good if you ask me, and the colors matched perfectly, so I purchased candy bars that will go inside here. I'll probably end up giving this to my parents, and this will be the part that they probably enjoy the most, but I couldn't have asked for a better match with the envelope that I made. And the flavors look really good too, but these are kind of thick candy bars, and so that's why I like to make my pockets thick. So it fits quite a bit of candy. And then you'll notice that that pocket is a little bit thicker. I have a cut apart with a clear acetate piece over it, and I have some petaloo leaf with some berries off to the side, and it's got a little canvas bow. This spider is just from the Dollar Tree. I do have some Scrabble tiles in my stash and some purple bling down here at the bottom. These flowers down in the corner, I kind of went over this already, but now you can just maybe see it a little bit closer. And I put some googly eyes sticking out the bottom. And then I also put a sticker from the collection with another one of those petaloo leaves, berries, and a little flower, and some bling along the top. So you can see that there really is a lot of depth to this envelope, that you can add quite a bit. So if you are looking for a quick project that doesn't require a whole lot of supplies, I mean, I just went to my stash, and I do have a big stash, but I will show you how I made the actual loaded envelope. I'm not going to take the time to show you how to decorate it because I know that everybody has their own way of, their own style. So let's go ahead and clear this off. I will be giving you some measurements. The main thing that you're going to want to get a hold of is a manila folder. And so once you do that, you're going to be ready to go. So let me get my supplies ready, and I'll show you how to make this loaded envelope for the Halloween trick-or-treat hop. Thanks for joining, and let's get started. If you have your file folder, it does not matter if it has the tab on the left, the right, or in the center. You just will need a standard sized folder. And so I have two here, just in case I need an extra one for an oops. But once you have this, you really don't need much other, except for your decorative paper and stuff. So I have a template that I used, and I have some writing on it. Not the neatest handwriting, but hopefully you can read it. So first of all, you want the length of your folder to be 8.5 inches long. So just go ahead and put your paper in your trimmer and cut off one end. If you have obviously the tab on this side, you're going to want to cut on the right. If you have your tab on the left, you're going to want to cut on, or on the right, you're going to want to cut on the left. And in the center, it doesn't really matter. You can do a little bit off each end if you want to. So 8.5 inches across, and so again you can see that. Now I do want you to cut the front part to 8 inches long. So open it up and place it at your seam, your fold at the 8-inch mark, and cut off at the top. Do not cut the back piece at all. You want that height. So the front page is 8 inches long. Okay, now this does make it a little bit more durable, which is nice, and so that's why you can add more to it and more depth to it. Okay, so we have that. You are going to need 2 pieces for hinges. Okay, and I used this from the cut off that I had from the extra width of the folder. You are going to need 2 of these. These measure 7 7/8 by 2.5, and there are 3 score marks that I made: 5/8, 1 1/4, and 1 7/8. Okay, so let me get it closer, and hopefully you'll be able to see it a little bit better. If you want to freeze it and write down the measurements: 7 7/8 by 2.5. Score at 5/8, 1 1/4, 1 7/8, and you do make an accordion fold so that when you look at it from the top, it looks like a capital M. Okay, so you like fan fold it. So you will need 2 of those. And for the front pocket, you are going to need another piece, and so this might require part of another folder. You may not have enough from cutting off the excess. So this is 11.5 inches across by 5.5 inches long. So 11.5 by 5.5. Now there is some scoring, and so on 3 of the sides, so you're not gonna score on the top part. You're going to score at 3/4 inches and 1.5 inches. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, this was 11.5 at the with the 11.5 inch side going across the top. You want to score at 3/4 and 1.5, and then I just turn it around, do 3/4, 1.5, and then with your 5.5 inches across the top, 3/4, 1.5. Okay. So let me show you with a sample piece what you're going to do. Let me score this real quick. So I said 3/4 and 1.5. 3/4, 1.5. And this is obviously a smaller piece just for demonstration purposes. Okay. So you're going to use your scissors and you're going to cut out basically an L. And so let me zoom in and show you what I mean by that L. So when you take a look at your scoring, you'll see 4 squares in the bottom corner. You're going to cut out the 2 on the left and then this one down here. So it makes like a capital L. Okay, so let me show you that. And I do miter just a hair on each of those, and then I go straight down and over. That's not very straight. Okay, so that's what that looks like. I made the L, I cut out the L, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's see if you can see the 4 squares. It'll be the outside 2 and then that middle one on the bottom. I do give it a slight mitering or angled corner. There's 2 pieces gone, and didn't cut all the way through. Okay, so that's what you'll have. Let me throw away my scraps here. All right, now you are going to need these squares to be trimmed or clipped to the score line so you can use them when you're folding this up. And so I just cut here on the side to the score line, cut to the score line. Okay, and so now let's go ahead and burnish all of our score lines. This comes together super fast, and sometimes that's what you need. My kids are grown, and so we don't do a whole lot of Halloween like we used to, but I do like to make things every once in a while for my family. Okay, so you can see that that's going to give you about a 3/4 inch gap here. And when we adhere it, those tabs help keep everything together. Okay, so it'll go together like so. And this is going to be glued to the folder so you won't see that you have that opening. Okay, so that's exactly what I did on this piece right here. I just showed you with the smaller one. So let's bring back our folder, and you're going to adhere your hinges so that you have some depth in your main pocket. And so you're going to glue these hinges so that you have that accordion right there. So you want to be able to turn your folder sideways and see that M So the mountain is in the center, going towards the inside of your folder, not the outside. Okay, so I do use art glitter glue. So let me get mine out and let's adhere that first hinge. This is super easy, but you know what? When you look at it, you don't look to say, oh, how easy was that? You look at how cute it was, and then you look at all the cute stuff that's inside. So, all right. So remember, these were 7 7/8 inches long, and our folder front is 8 inches. So we should be able to get that to fit without any overhang. And you want to make sure that it's lined up with your edge without going over. So let me take a quick peek. Yep, that looks just fine. And then last, we're going to put glue on the inside here on the 3/4 inch strip. And I like to give it a little bit maybe extra because there may be some pull on this folder when you stuff it with stuff. So I want to make sure that it's adhered real well. And I'm just going to push down. Give it a second to dry. And we are going to do the same thing then on the other side. So we're going to put glue on the, we want the M to be, the mountain part is facing the inside of your folder. Okay, so I'm going to place some glue on the 3/4 inch strip here. And I'm going to stick that down in there, lining it up with the edge. Give it a good burnish. Make sure it's on there real well and glued. And then I'm just going to turn this upside down, and I'm going to lift this up so I can get the glue on this section. And let's press down. You can use clothespins if you want to hold it. You can always add pockets to the back also, but I'm pretty sure I'll have this sitting on an easel for my parents when I give it to them, so I didn't want any pockets on the back, but you have plenty of room to do that. Okay, so now you can see you can fit more in there. And then finally now we're going to add the front pocket onto the bottom down here. Okay, and so I like to form the pocket first and then glue it onto the folder. So let's go ahead and we're going to, on the very first score line closest to the middle here, we're going to fold up and over. So we have our, so it looks like that. We're going to push in our tabs on each side, and that's where we're going to glue it to this inside 3/4 inch strip. Okay, so I'm going to place glue on the little square. I'm going to fold it into like so. So I have that 3/4 inch flap open on each here. Nothing's glued down yet there. Just give it a hold for a second. And now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to place glue on the little tab that we cut. Fold that in and attach it to the side. And go ahead and hold that for a moment. Okay, we're going to push this bottom piece up and our side pieces over on top of it, and we're going to glue that down here on the corner. Now if you want, you could put your side pieces in with your outside, your bottom on the outside. It really doesn't matter. I just like to put the sides on the outside. So let me put some glue and I'll just do one side at a time and hold it. You want to make sure that you're pushing it in enough to form a nice crisp edge so that you have that like so. And I need to hold it some more. Let me get some clips here. Okay, so that will hold that one while I come over and do this one. And I'm just going to place some glue, fold it over, and attach it to the bottom. Make sure you have folded it in well enough. And I'm going to go ahead and get a clip and hold that like so. So now you can see that that's where how the pocket is formed, and that's how you get that 3/4 inch depth, so that you can add some fun things inside. And so the last step is just to glue this onto the base. So it doesn't get much easier than that. And then you would want to go ahead and do your measurements for your decorative paper. And it's just real easy to slide in. I did not put any paper on the inside here, but I did go around and I did ink my edges, but I did put the paper all the way to the edge. I did not leave any opening this time. So let me show you what I'm talking about. When I measured my paper, I went all the way to the edge. You don't see any of the file folders showing. And then I just had some paper that had a cute border that I put on the inside of my hinge because I thought that added some cuteness. Okay, so you can decide how you want to measure your paper. Okay, so these should be dry. So now we're going to place glue on the U shape here on the back. And then we're going to attach it to the base. And I will use clothespins again to help keep it in place so it can dry. You want to line it up with the bottom and the sides. And you want to make sure that that gets pushed in. So I'm going to stick a clothespin right there and right here. And then I'm just going to take this and go along the inside and make sure that that bottom is adhering to the base of the folder real well. And let me take a peek. I see a gap right here. And I'm going to add, I see a gap, so I'm going to add some glue in there. So it's really important that you get enough glue so that you don't have your pocket coming off when you add heavier items in it. So make sure you're looking down inside here and that everything is laying down real smooth. You saw me add some extra adhesive, no problem with that. So I'm just making sure everything is sticking real well. Running my hand along there. That's what's nice is you do have room to put your hand inside of there because of the thickness of that pocket. Okay, so you can see that it's adhered. There's no spaces. And then it would be time to decorate. Now I did add decorative paper here on the sides and on the bottom. I did not add, I went with my sponge and my black soot. Did I put, nope, let me show you. So you can see I added some decorative paper, but I just used ink on the inside there instead of adding paper. You can add paper if you want. So that is how I made my Halloween loaded envelope that my parents were going to love. Let me just run through the hop requirements one last time so there's no confusion. There are about 8 or 9 of us in the lineup. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head, and those people in the lineup are listed in the description box. You'll see that not only me, but Laura's Craft Zone, Tammy Merrill, Marie Cholewinski, there is Cathy Lee, there's Sandy Trefger, there is the Terra 148, and I hope I'm not leaving anybody out. If I did, I'm sorry. It's in the description box. But I want you to know that everybody has wonderful projects for you to look at. So to be eligible for the prize, if they're offering one, you have to be a subscriber to all of our channels, and you will need to leave a comment. If you want to leave a thumbs up, that would be nice too. But my prize is a $20 gift certificate to Country Craft Creations. I will do a random drawing. We will check to make sure that everybody is subscribed to everyone's channels, and that drawing will take place on October 27th, so a week from today, to give people a chance to view the video. If you have any questions, you may certainly put that in the description box. I want to thank you for watching our YouTube channels and for subscribing. We had a lot of fun doing this, and I hope you get a lot of wonderful ideas. Oh, I did forget somebody. Oh my gosh, I feel terrible. Elizabeth Garza from Live, Scrap and Love. Oh my gosh, she's a good friend. I can't believe I forgot to put her name in there. So anyway, I apologize to her. So thank you for watching, and have a great Halloween, and eat lots of candy. Have a good one, everybody.